You could say, you are such a dullard. He or she is a dullard. I've never heard this word before. I should reread this book.
Everybody listen to Off the Stage podcast, you
Well, welcome to Off the Stage and into the studio.
Ooh!
Oh, tell you what I forgot to flip and do.
Soundboards.
Straight away. No.
Record. Put the microphone on. Turn the lights on.
The lights at the back.
Can you tell the difference?
You probably can't because I've got this massive new light that's like brighter than the sun.
There is LED lights here flashing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, see it better. Hang on, that's 2 seconds. Let's get the real effect going on. Hang on.
This is how professional our podcast is. Oh, you can see it now. It's flashing well. So yeah, welcome to our special
Go look at that
podcast.
one. You can't see it at all now.
For any audio viewers, that was crazy. But first of all, I'm going to go in with a thank you to all the audio viewers.
Yes.
Audio viewers, audio listeners.
Yes.
We did a Spotify wrapped up the other day, and as well as we've had our own music one, the podcast came under one, and we had 70 Spotify listeners have us in their top 10 podcasts. I think it was 28 have us as their number one podcast.
Yeah, I thought
considering we're a local music podcast that started in May, June.
Yeah, it's quite
flying.
Yeah,
we hit 50 subscribers today on YouTube, so tell your friend if you're not already doing it, go do that. There's loads of episodes to watch if you've just been listening.
That's thank you, Brightos. That's
yeah. We're in the middle of discussing plans for next year, and most of the things we got planned are very visual, such as gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've got quite a. Well, we're kind of, the reason we're doing this is we did have someone who we were going to interview at the ISIS, but he
Didn't spell anything.
he couldn't make it. So I thought, rather than just us two gassing at the pub again, we thought we'd do something a little bit different. We'd go to the studio and we'll just discuss what we want to do for the new year, because we've been doing this for
It's been a good 6 months.
Yeah, it's been a good half year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're looking at, because of, as we record this, it's the 6th of December, but we've also got Yuma solos coming in tomorrow, and their episodes will probably have already been released, so we're considering this is going to be either the last episode of 2022 or the first of 2023. You'll find out when it's released, because we still don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an end of year review, kind of what we're going to do next year.
Yeah.
We don't know what you guys have enjoyed, what you guys haven't. We started the podcast saying, right, 20 minutes, do a bit of a song, should be good. And after 20 minutes, we go, right, that's the end of part 1.
Yeah, I know.
Then part 2, right, after half an hour, right, that's the end of part 2. So yeah, do you guys want longer, shorter? If it's longer, it's going to take a lot more time, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a lot of space. Though, I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think an hour is this, like 15 minutes per thing is a good sweet spot. I listened to the Ellens one the day, and that flew by. I really enjoyed listening to that. Like,
they're good, but when you're recording, they just fly by, and you go, all right, oh, it's been 26 minutes. We should move on.
That's the thing, innit? So sometimes you just it lasts as long as it lasts, doesn't it? Really, but I can see why it's, because I know that I don't listen to all that many podcasts, but the ones I have listened to, they tended to be like half an hour long. The longest one I watched, we listened to anyway, was Off Menu. It was called, where it's with and it was with Ainsley Howard,
right?
And he's going through the story of the why hello Joe, explaining the situation behind that, and that lasted like 2 hours or something like that. But flew by.
I think I've got 3 podcasts I listen to according to Spotify. There's Have a Word is my top one, and then it was the Mr. Ballin podcast, who's this guy who tells you like crime stories and stuff from America. And then the Claret and Blue podcast, which is a Villa podcast. Clearly Off the Stage didn't make my top 3, but I tend to watch the YouTubes on this more often.
But I watch it before it even shows.
Yeah.
Like, I watch it on my phone because it's already
But the Have a Word one, they started like that. They were like half an hour podcast. Now they're like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And they get to the point where after a break they go get a Nando's, come back and record the next set.
Yeah, that's mad. That.
But they're quite a big podcast now.
Yeah. I think the bigger you are, the more you can get away with doing. Like, the bigger the names, the more like,
The more you can do.
yeah, the more interested people are. Not that I'm saying our guests aren't interesting, but it was.
Sorry, I'm going to put my phone on silent.
It's alright. I thought that was mine. That was like, don't even have my phone on.
No, it's the missus. Yeah. So yeah, it's we don't know what we're going to do next year. We got a couple ideas. I want to change the gig guide. What's really been annoying me is how little musicians advertise the gigs.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm one of them, if I'm honest.
yeah, but people are like, oh, nobody comes to my gigs. When's the last time I advertised it? Oh, 6 years ago. Like, well, there's your problem then. Nobody knows you've got a gig. Like, I'm not expecting to sell my tour out, but I've got more tickets sold than I thought I would, just simply by saying, look, there's a gig on.
So it just shows you though, doesn't it? Because I mean, saying you were like actively trying to find these gigs, it's not as if you were like, oh, I quite fancy that. You were like, okay,
Right.
what is
Who was
going
on
on
at
here?
the Clooney?
And you
right.
couldn't.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Can't find that band at all. Yeah.
So that's a tip for musicians.
Promote yourself.
Promote yourself, and not only that, get decent handles, Twitter handles, Instagram handles, like just very easy, like your band name and UK or Northeast or music.
And when you book yourself for a venue gig, so I've got Little Buildings booked up soon, everybody knows about, but I've got loads of little venues across the UK booked in as well. And when you book in, they always go, all right, you got an image and a description. So for their website, they can advertise you as well. When you send your description, chuck in your Instagram tags, your Facebook tags, so that when people go, ooh, he looks all right, I've got nothing on that weekend, let's give it a try. And then they can check out your music. Oh, actually, you know what, I like that sound, or oh, I don't. You know, then you're not going to bring in a crowd of people that aren't going to enjoy it. You kind of get people who can check you out and go, right, he's worth taking a punt on. Sending your tags, the worst thing they do is they don't put it up. But the best thing they do is they do put it up, and people go, I can follow him now.
Yeah, that's it. I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's Rich from HMV Newcastle mentioned it. I think it's called Gigco or something like that. It's this new app that's came out, and I'm sure I shared it to you actually when you were ranting about the gig guide. But basically, it's just an app that has all the gigs on.
Okay.
But I was thinking it for your gigs, really. Just if you thought, oh, it's another little medium for people to go on. It's a decent little app. It's like it looks smart.
I mean, as we speak, I haven't announced the tour properly.
Yeah, you just
I just keep saying it on the podcast.
Gigs.
I'm like, we're off to York now.
I have to make a proper poster. Do the make a t-shirt.
A t-shirt would be cool though. Oh, a t-shirt
with all the dates on the
enough
back.
time doing the merch. I reckon so. That's a good idea.
I think so. It only takes as long as you design it, it only takes a day to print.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
You get sorted.
I'm not a professional printer, but I mean, I'm sure whenever I've found printing things, it only takes
should be fine.
Done, right?
Well, since we're 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the podcast, James, what are you drinking?
Well, for those who know me, this is an espresso martini to stay in, not to go this time.
Ooh,
it's in a fancy little glass. It's the wife made it. Bloody lovely. What are you drinking?
I am drinking from a similar glass, and as the viewers can see, if you're on YouTube, it looks like an espresso martini, but it's not.
It's a Guinness.
It's a beautiful Guinness.
It's a Guinness teeny.
Guinness teeny.
It's the extra teeny.
Yeah. We're not at the ship ISIS today. Purely because we thought we'd do something slightly different, but we will be going back to ship ISIS. It's going to be our weekly residence, especially at 2023, unless they kick us out and go, look, we're too busy, fuck off, because we just take up space.
We do. I mean, there's been a few occasions. Although when we first started, it was absolutely dead, but that was before they started selling chicken. So they put the chicken
Tuesdays in it.
Chicken Tuesdays, and it's just gotten rampacked. Which is good. I like to see it, if I'm honest. There's nothing worse than like a pub struggling who's empty and. So I don't.
Although we do miss quiet podcasts.
Yeah, we do.
We now have to get there dead early to be like, look, can we just at least take this table?
Yeah.
There's been loads of time we'd be stuck in a storage room with like oil cans on the side going, right, so how was your TV?
Yeah,
we just cut it off the camera angle.
There's been a couple of occasions where we've had to escape on the stage in the true irony of it all.
Yeah.
Physically go on the stage.
Yeah. Oh, I do like the ISIS.
Yeah, I do.
The ship ISIS.
The ship. No, yeah, we're not condoning terrorist organisations here.
If any viewers are also watching instead of listening, you'll also notice on James's I'm gonna say left or right. I don't know how the camera angle works on this. Am I gonna come up on the left or the right?
You'd be this way, so you'd be on the left.
On
You'd be
James's
left.
side, there's a pink hat. That was from the Ellen episode we did the other week.
Yeah, it is. It still works as well. I've got it fixed it. Well, one of them does anyway.
Hey!
That's a clap. Clapping.
Oh, we need to get some science. When this podcast hits a certain amount of followers, we'll start doing merch.
Oh, yeah,
And we'll
that's
have
gotta
like
be
an
one of
image
them.
of you in the pink hat flying
Yeah.
away, flying off the stage or something. Yeah.
Well, what was I going to say?
You did a gig at HMV Newcastle on Saturday, James.
I did.
How did it go?
I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I mean, this would have been 4 Saturdays
It depends when we release
Yeah.
this, yeah.
But no, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, on the 3rd of December, wasn't it?
I've got plenty of footage as well, which is it's kind of what I wanted. It's one thing I've always like not done for ages, and observing, especially. I mean, this is one thing what I'm liking about the podcast. When you get loads of other guests on, loads of other musicians, you talk to them and you see how they do things, and then you can kind of incorporate what they do to yourself. Because I've always been like useless with social media and advertising
Yeah.
myself. But I've noticed with a lot of bands, they've got lots of footage, lots of photos of the gigs, like pre-photos and stuff like that. Maybe I'm a little bit too lazy to do as much work as they do, but I think just to put the camera in front of you, well, saying that this is a multi-camera thing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know,
it's a good
real,
design.
real part. Just to get some actual content. That's what the young ones call it these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get content.
Get content.
Lots of content.
That's why I bring Ashley to my gigs.
Yeah.
Hey, she's just there, photography
Honestly,
wise, and really good at it, but it saves her sitting
Honestly,
watching me play the same songs.
It is just because you do that a lot, and it's obviously because Ashley's there. It's like a godsend, really. It's having someone who's able to do proper. Because I'd love like, I mean, I don't know how much they cost. I should find that out because I want to do it myself. Like getting proper people that get in to properly film, and you know, when they've got like the moving cameras and make it look all professional.
Yes, I've just done it. Well, I say just done it. I did a few months ago with a guy called Callum McEwen, who might be coming on the podcast.
Yeah, you know, I keep
no one's
meaning to
booked
ask
in,
him.
but he said today, "Oh, someone dropped it. I can't do it tonight, but I can another time." So
I
he
see,
might be
that's
there
fine.
throughout next year. But he did a big release, pre-release thing because nothing's been released yet, and he went to a church up in where was it? Rothbury.
Yeah.
And he got an entire production team in for like 4 days, and it was just a mixture of his songs and cover songs. He had like session musicians in to do stuff, and
That's cool
like
as
you
hell.
know when we do the points and you're out there singing "Faith" by George Michael.
Oh, yeah.
He got me to learn the actual harmonies, so I'm like, I know this one, James. Yes, let's do
Oh
it.
yeah, that's
Might be the only one you're like, oh, he knows that harmony.
Yeah.
I don't know any others. I trained for this one. Don't call me Conor Michael for no reason. I've been asked that before. Are you related to George Michael? No.
Jesus.
It's just my middle name. Yeah. So HMV you did on Saturday.
Aye. And
I am at Metro Centre HMV this Saturday.
Ah.
Not to you guys. You
You've
missed
already
it.
played it.
Yeah, missed it.
How was your gig on
On the yeah, it was good. Turned up and everyone was shouting Conor Michael until I realised it was the boss staff. The staff telling us to leave. No, I don't know. Should be interesting. I've never done the Metro Centre one. The only one I've done is Newcastle.
What time is it?
I want to say 3.
So I'm at the stadium.
Yeah.
I was going to say I would have.
Sunderland, the only team in the North East that's playing during the World Cup.
I
As
know,
we
honest to
stand,
God,
England
like,
is
yeah.
still in the World Cup, and I don't know how that ends. But in
Probably.
recording, we play in France on Saturday.
Probably beaten by France, but you know we can always dream, can't
And
we?
Morocco just beat Spain.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
can happen.
and we're not.
Well, you're right.
We're not exactly like a bad team, though, are we, either?
We're probably not missing the recording next Wednesday because we're probably not in the World Cup. I hope I
is
ate
that
them
when-
words. Yeah, so we're meant to have Ollie Patter win on Wednesday, and he messaged going, "Oh, just for England if we beat
shit.
France or
Yeah.
in the semi-finals."
So that's going to be dependent on that, though.
And I went, "Let's be realistic. We'll see you on Wednesday."
Thing is, we do have a good side, but yeah, it is our defence is a little bit. I'm just thinking like Giroud and Mbappe. Nah,
We'll see.
just yeah,
Just got to outscore them.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you got any James Berry in the best folk rock band out of Fulwell plans for 2023? What you got coming out?
Well, I've got these are I've got written songs, so I've got 3 EPs written, just not recorded.
How long then?
I don't know.
Cool.
They've got I've gotten so the reason I say that is because there's some songs where I could add them, but I'm thinking like, do I want to make an EP or do I want to make an album? And in this album, do I want to make some songs I'm not too fussed about, or do I want to make like a short EP with songs that I think are going to be mint? And I think I'm just going to make it a shorter EP, just, quantity over quality. Quality over quantity.
Yes, I want 1,000 songs. That sounds shit.
I've had way too many espresso martinis.
I've had way too many EPs that were that, to be fair.
But yeah, so there's one of them. I think the name is going to be Live, Laugh, Love. Just
like it.
I just love it.
Yeah.
But that's
Live, laugh, love it.
that's literally that's going to be all the songs I wrote through lockdown.
Yeah.
Coming from a really bad state to building myself up to where I am now, and it's going to be like it's going to be good.
Story mode.
Yeah, it's like a proper story thing.
It's canny.
The other one is Gamer Memes and Nerd Dreams, which is the title. And that's just basically all like.
Is that involving a song that you played at HMV?
Yes.
Yes.
Two of the songs.
I'll give spoilers, but
there's 2 songs that are on there.
Oh, okay.
And it's just about nerdy stuff. It's got loads of like random shit. And then
the other one of Ashley's favourite songs. That one.
Which one's that? Like,
Gamer Girl.
Gamer Girls, yeah. We nearly didn't play that one.
Oh yeah.
Because we
never heard that one before.
We couldn't get it in practice, but we just thought, you know what it is. It's like last song. We'll just flip and play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a cool little song. It's got that one in. It's got the Chelsea Jackson song's going to be in that one as well.
Yes. If you've never heard the Chelsea Jackson song, then I don't know where you've been.
Not on this podcast, you've
like everybody who was at HMV was singing along. Even people that were just buying random, like the new Ollie Murs album come out, people were buying it. And Chelsea Jackson.
Yeah.
The best thing about the HMV gig is when James had to play Sir Miserable Bastard, censored version.
Sir Miserable Person.
I am a miserable person at times. You get with the middle of.
And then I went, I'm glad I didn't swear all that shit. Straight away, just ruined it. Little kiddies.
The kids around you went,
what does that word mean?
Didn't swear at all. And you went, yeah, I didn't say anything for the little shit. Oh, James, you were that close. You were on the microphone.
What's a little shit?
You.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good.
But my third EP I've got.
Happy one.
Happy-ish. It's a bit more happy, but it's specifically a folk album. So it's all like the proper acoustic. It'll have a few like few more like upbeat songs in there, but it's mainly like really soft, cool, like folk songs basically.
Yeah.
Which really like gives the name, folk rock.
It does,
because the name it's a bit misleading. So it's the best ever folk rock band. It's not folk rock.
I've seen a book you've got there called Big Words. Elephant.
I swear to God, right? I swear to God, this right. The book of Big Words. Because, for those who are just listening, I've got I think it's a book called The Little Book of Big Words and How to Use Them. Because for those who don't realise, I'm like I'm like thick as mince.
Oh, I am, but I caught my drift. What? It's a big world, big.
Ambidextrous.
Ooh, use both hands, is it?
Yes,
hey.
Yes, that means that. But when I bought it, honestly, I bought it ages ago when I first got into songwriting, and I thought my initial thing with songwriting was like, well, if I can think of some big, like, sophisticated words, it'll make my songs better. It doesn't actually,
because nothing rhymes with dullard.
Duplicity. Dullard. Let's read dullard. A beautifully insulting word for you to use here. You so miserable dullard at times. If you must, it refers to someone who is dunce. Ironically, a dunce won't know what the word means. It describes someone who is a dull person, dope, simpleton, and ignoramus. It's actually ignorami, but they'll not correct this guy here. How to use this word? Oh my God, how the hell do you spell this one? Hippopotamonstrosequipedalophobia.
Is that fear of hippos?
No. Ironically, this word refers to someone who has a phobia about long words.
I'm going to get a little Instagram story if you read in your book.
Right, so
On
yeah.
the podcast, it's recording, so this is us. And this is James's book of big words.
Well, I'll repeat this one for you. Hippopotamonstrosequiped. Hang on, I can't even spell it. Hippopotamonstrosequipedalophobia. Ironically, this word refers to someone who has a phobia about long words. I'm sorry, but I suffer from hippopotamonstrosequipedalophobia. I think it's quite. Honestly, I bought it thinking like it will make us like sound smarter or it'll make my songs better, but realistically, what makes a song good is the story it tells, not about what words you use. I learnt that from years.
Before you change over, can I get a photo of that
Oh yeah.
hippopotamus phobia?
Oh, that's the one.
Oh, okay. This is me doing some admin work. Sorry, guys. I'm aware we're recording.
So I'm sure they're all discombobulating as we speak. Or the pugnacious or puerile.
Oh.
Maybe even a stentorian.
The best thing is I can picture Ashley watching this episode and it comes out going, what the fuck is this?
Should be unimpeachable, I tell you. Even ubiquitous. I don't even know what these words mean, but it makes it sound smart, doesn't it?
That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're sounding perspicuous or peruse, you'd best not obdurate or nonchalant the nefarious nettlesome of some insurmountable, intermittent, hypothetical idiosyncrasy.
Can we do a second podcast where you just read each of these words?
Yeah.
You big gerrymander.
Yeah. There we go. I've missed that book. Oh. Got that. You know, I don't read all that often. Oh, shit.
So you've got an EP. The third one's a bit folky.
Yes. It's got lots of them words in it.
Oh wow. At the end, can we do a song with a bunch of them words?
Yes.
Is that going to be our sign-off song?
Aye. But I'm actually, funnily enough, if you ever wanting to know in advance a sneak peek of what kind of songs you'd see on the folk album that I'll be making, my gig on the 9th. Oh, will this even be released? Oh, this might even be released before then. But I've got a gig on the 19th of December.
Yeah,
and it's
how
just
was it?
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, I bring my banjo down and everything.
Oh.
Aye, and my acoustic guitar. It's just going to be a chill out. Wore my Christmas jumper and all that, you know, make it all.
I don't have one, you know.
Christmassy. You don't have a Christmas jumper?
Got like some tatty one from like ages ago. I've just spelt podcast as podcastle.
You need one of these. I'll let you lend this book.
I think the word big is too large for me. There, to be honest with you. Oh, right. We've done a bit of social media. Canny. So yeah, 2023 planned.
Yeah,
EPs. Are they all going to be out by the end of 2023?
Yeah, so I'm planning on doing them all because what I want.
Are they going to be released at the same time? Are you going to do like one in the spring, one in the summer, one in the winter kind of thing?
There'll be different times, yeah. But yeah, what I'm needing is what the kids say, content.
Yes.
So it's basically just someone goes on my. I do something daft and people like whatever, like a random comment. They'll go on my profile and they'll not see anything like, well, what kind of music do you do, or nobody knows anything about us.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. It's just to get stuff out there, and then that's just a foundation to build on.
So I did with the album. So the album, it's good, but it's not great. And that's nothing to do with the production. It's just when it was done, it's a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's quite an amateur kind of recording thing, but it's much better than the EPs. Yeah. So when I was putting myself at festivals and support slots, I'm like, look, at least this is the album I've got. Because most people are like, have you got half an hour of original material? I've got like 30 days worth of original material if you really want that, you know. And then it's the building blocks. After the album was the home single, and then after that it's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. It's either going to be a single, a collaboration single, or an EP, and I don't know what my plan is for next year. I'm just going to tour for the crack.
That's why else would you go? Like,
I just wanted to. Originally, it's the reason I'm doing the tour is I did the release gig and beyond, and
Oh, yeah.
like I think we sold like 20 tickets or something like that.
It was alright that.
And there was like 3 people that I like 17 that I knew and 3 that I didn't, and then some of them came to the HMV gig, and then like Alan comes to a few gigs now. He's came to my Blues and Bourbon gig. He's bought tickets for the Birmingham, Newcastle, Sunderland shows.
Just goes to show you though, because like not
It's about building a fan base now.
yeah, because the one thing I've always kind of, and I still stick behind, is like like a lot of people, they do fall in the trap where they think social media is everything.
Yeah.
And they get to the point where, because they think social media is everything, they forget to go out in the real world and actually gig.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's where that's why I say I've released a song and people still know the name, like know the song Chelsea Jackson Soul My Pencil, because I've just gigged it. I've went out and people have liked it, and they still need to get that extra push for them to actually come to gigs and shit. But I mean, like, it's just that's it. In like real life advertising, like leaflets, posters.
That's what we're going to do for the 28th of January.
Yes, 28th of January.
As much as that is my Little Billings gig, beforehand, me and James are we announcing it now? We can announce it now.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
We are now in collaboration with HMV Newcastle for this one event. Every 2 weeks, Newcastle HMV do like a live and local thing. All HMVs across the UK do that. We've both done Newcastle. When this comes out, I'll have done Metro Centre. I'm in the talks with Sunderland, maybe Birmingham, possibly York. But we've had a lot of fanship from Rich, the guy that organises that. And he watches the podcast. He listens to the podcast walking to work. Big fan.
It was funny actually. Vince, the drummer, he just messaged like after the gig. He went, "You know what? That Rich is lovely." I was like, "I know he is. He's
top notch bloke." Messaged me today to be like, "What are you doing on the 19th of December?" So, I don't know why. I said, "Well, Ollie Murs is doing his album signing in Newcastle."
I did see that.
So we're gonna come get him on the podcast.
So
by the time you're on this, we've got Ollie Murs on there.
You know what? I think you should shoot your shot and see if bring the podcast stuff to the sign and go, would you like to do like 10 minutes of a podcast?
I'm going to shoot my shot and ask him if he can do this is Ollie Murs and you'll listen to Off the Stage.
Oh,
I'm going to see if we can get just 10 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, just
if I get that record on my phone, can you add that to the...
I'll absolutely do.
Can you get that in, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, try my luck. Because I'm also going to shoot my shot with... So, you're in Newcastle 22nd of April, and I know Scouting for Girls is supporting you, but do you want that additional support slot for complete free of some guy with a loop pedal and guitar by any chance, and watch him say no, but if he says yes, I'll probably die on the spot, to be honest with you.
That's the one thing that we say we did that
we'll get back to the announcement.
That Ellen podcast, like she supported Cam Cole, who's quite like an up and coming name. All she did was message him on Instagram.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, that's it. The issue with you get like your Ollie Murs and stuff, you message them on Instagram, it's in request, never going to read that, but I'm going face to face.
You go ask in person.
Come on, Oliver. 22nd of April. Come on. So yeah, we're quite linked with HMV. HMV, they give us. Rich gives us loads of people to be like, look, get this person on the podcast. It's how we got Sam Shields on. Sam was always on our books to get on, but we got him on earlier because Rich was like, yeah, get this lad on. We tried someone else who dropped out, and someone else is just constantly busy. But 28th of January. Instead of it just being, it's normally 11, 1 and 3 o'clock, there's a different act on. From 11 a.m. till roughly 4 p.m, me and James are going to be at HMV. We're going to put on kind of like a buskers thing.
Yeah.
Roughly half an hour a slot. This isn't just for anybody to turn up though, it'll be pre-arranged. Acts are going to turn up from 11 o'clock till 4 to play original music. I know people will be like, I'll do a couple of covers. Look, you got 20 minutes to entertain an audience. Do what you can, like push your songs out. It's different when we do like an hour long gig and you want to keep them entertained, but when you got 20 minutes, it's like 4 songs. Make the most of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Get yourself along. You might not like the first act, you might really like the second act, or you might really like the second act, not the first. Like the first act, not the second. We don't know who's going to be booked in before I make that assumption. Right. But the point is, you're never going to know who you're going to enjoy. There's going to be 10 acts including us. We'll do a slot each.
Yeah.
So 8 different acts excluding us. You might just find your next favourite act, like 1 in 8 chance that you go, oh, that were really good. You're like, oh, I'm going to go see them live, or you might really love all of them and go, that was a great day out.
Yeah.
Free entry. It's upstairs, HMV. We're going to be doing a little interview before and after. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know, it should be good.
We haven't quite figured out how we're going to release that. Whether it's going to be a podcast or just a special.
Special, yeah. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I mean, I guess you could.
It's a lot of footage. It's a 5-hour podcast, really.
Well, I mean,
As you take the songs out.
What I'm thinking is,
We'll do a song.
like one song each. Or I mean, I could even just concentrate on the pre-game performance and then post-performance, and just do like a 30-second snippet of one of the songs, and then kind of like a fast forward. That should be just about
Probably looking at an hour and a half.
Yeah, because
maybe 2 at a push.
Yeah, because how long's it?
Well, that's not bad.
Because they're only getting 10 minutes anyway, aren't they, before the next act's on?
Yeah. It's going to be a 20-minute set, and then it gives 10 minutes of them to sit and chat to you while I'm setting the next one up. So everyone's getting the 20 minutes plus a 10-minute interview.
Yeah.
Like, how did it go? Any shows coming up? Anything you want to do?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got any questions you want to know about musicians, drop us messages, send us comments, etc., and we'll just add them in and go, all right, so the viewers we've got have actually been interested to know, have you ever been a support act? Have you ever been a headline act? Have you that kind of stuff? I think that this event, it's not so much starter out musicians, but it's also not so much going to be full of the top end musicians. It's kind of that middle ground of people who are trying to put the foot into the original market.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's going to be great to see like a root of music growing through.
The little help will give them a bit of a boost and help them.
There's no better way to start 2023 than going big, and then it's all up from there.
Yeah, and if anything, we can ask them at the end, do you want a full length? We've got some guests,
Absolutely.
Potential guests, which is 2.5 months worth.
Yeah, pretty much. Not for us. We get 3 dropouts a month.
Yeah,
so probably get through February.
Yeah, I know. That's the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to take a little break and then you get yourself another espresso martini?
Yeah,
something like that.
30 minutes.
We'll just put it as a 2.5, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll take a short break, and we'll be back. Maybe we'll ask some questions about what people want to see and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get myself a drink, and I'll be back shortly. It's number 3, isn't it? Like to see you in a bit. Wow, could have just used that bloody.
Spirits high. Keep your spirits high, is it? Does it keep your head high or your spirits quite low?
You've got to keep the spirits high when the day's running slow.
That's it. Just one espresso martini.
And I use, because like spirits is in like spirits is in physical spirits.
It's a very small play on word.
Yes, spirits also is in. This is not an espresso martini, by the way. This is a Guinness poured. Why were you using Guinness in espresso martini glasses?
This is not an espresso martini. Yeah. This is just a Guinness.
I'm sure there's like a espresso, like a martini you could make with Guinness. Oh, that's it. It's really nice, right? But I was almost my brain was expecting the taste of espresso martini there.
Poor lad.
Have I clicked record there? Is that recording?
I don't know. What button am I looking for? I am there. Yeah, it's been recording for 1 minute and 24 seconds.
Is it? Is that what it says?
It says 27 now. 28, 29. Go on, James. You don't believe me. 30, 31, 32, 33. It says that on the bottom left.
Oh, yeah.
36, 37. Yeah, but I can. Yeah. That's the difference.
I know, I should trust people more, shouldn't I?
No, never trust a person.
Yeah.
I made you buy like 10 CDs.
The irony is, I don't have any CD players. There's a song on there that I've never. Actually, I think I've heard it before, but I've never actually played any of the CDs.
That's a shame. Land of the Green's a banger. Might need to redo it for Paddy's Day. That'd be cool.
Land of the Green.
I know it.
I know it.
I think I played it once or twice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on my tour or not. I still need to make a set list for my tour. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm getting told off by the missus, but I'm getting excited.
So what tour dates have you got so far then?
So far, it started off with me saying I'm just going to do a minimum of an original gig a month. Yeah. And I booked Little Buildings in Newcastle, 28th, and I've got Josh Hennigan and The Pride as support. 28th of January, and that was all I had. And then I'm doing a support slot for someone on the 25th of Feb. I think I'm doing a support. Oh, what am I doing? I think 26th of February. I'm doing a gig in Trillions.
Ooh.
I told Scott that, and he was like, he joined a metal band, are you?
Yeah, I was going to say, because Trillions is usually like...
I'm doing, it's a festival, I'm doing the same one as Mash Production.
Oh, really?
I said they were doing that.
That's pretty cool.
But then I've got a support band for this country rock band after.
Oh, nice.
Like Elizabethtown or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm there that night. And then I'm in Whitley Bay on the 4th of March. I've got Kenny Craig and Paper Boats, a band, are supporting us.
Paper Boats, I've heard of them.
Really good band.
Yeah.
And I'm shitting myself being the headline because I've got to compete with that,
Yeah.
you know. But that's the challenge. It's trying to make myself sound as good as a band. And then I've got Sunderland, 1st of April. I'm at the Bunker.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a 3-piece band supporting called James Berry, the best folk rock band out of Fulham.
Yeah, yes, I remember that.
Best ever folk rock band.
I heard they're good.
Currently, I've got the 20th of May is it's called 45 Vinyl Cafe in York.
Oh, right.
We've got our support so far, not announced yet.
But let's have a look at this.
I'm going down York here.
Well,
Because the fella messaged me today when I was looking for the guy I've got in support. And I was like, oh, we need someone on the podcast. If you can set a Zoom up, I'll come do it. And I was like, well, if you fancy, are you in York?
I had a gig, but it got cancelled. However, my birthday is on the 19th of May.
Ooh.
And last year, on the 19th of
It
May...
is, it's just there.
Yeah. Last year, I went to York. So...
Deja vu.
And that's because that 20th of gig's being cancelled. I could actually attend to that.
Well, what I was about to say, there's one of the guys I've got in support so far messaged me, if you do Zoom, I'll do it. So I can't quite crack that yet. But we'll sort something out. So if by any chance you are down that weekend...
We could do a
little podcast in York.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be our first, like...
Well,
post
it might be.
After, yeah.
Because, but before I go on to because of... And then I've got my gig finale in Birmingham on the week after the 27th.
Oh,
and then the day after that's the last game of the Premier League season. And Aston Villa are playing Brighton at home. So I'm going to try and get a ticket and have a big goddamn after party that weekend.
Right.
Yeah, the 20th might be our first podcast on the road.
Yeah, so...
But... Also, so could the 15th of March. Ooh. When we all go to Manchester.
Oh, yeah. We'll try and interview Damien Rice.
Oh, we got tickets to Damien Rice. It's a big sellout tour. We got them. I'm not going to lie, I was gigging Filthies on Thursday night. Shock. And I was like, right, Ash, you take the kids to school because the tickets are on sale at 9 o'clock. And I'm not missing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I woke up at 9:48 a.m. I was like, clicked on all the tickets, and it was like, you can only buy 2, 3, 2, and we need 4. And I messaged you, go, look, I might not be able to get 4. And I had to make an account with gigsandtours.com because I didn't have one. When I made an account, I clicked on it. It says 4 available. I got the last 4 tickets to Manchester.
Sweet.
We scored lucky, but we're off to see Damien Rice. He might not be on the podcast. Let's be realistic, but. If anyone from Manchester fancies a little sit-down chat, you know, we're going to be in the area in March. We may as well make use of it.
I'll bring my camera along and
so
it's one good thing about this little podcasting.
Very portable.
It's very portable. And it's quite good. I mean, even if I could use that, and I don't even need to use the camera really, but I could use the phone and connect it up. But
use both phones. You want a multi-angle?
Yeah.
We just need a microphone. Even if you bring that, like this. If we sat around a table and just did this for a one-off, I reckon we should do it on the train. If we got a train, I think we're going to drive. But if we got a train down, me, you, Ashley, and Kat could sit on like the 4-seater thing. We get random people. Who's your favourite musician?
Yeah.
All right. Who's your and just have like random people in for 5-minute train podcasts. Sorry, I'm just breaking your floor with my telephone. It's a cracking idea for a podcast though.
It is off the stage, on the train,
on the tracks,
on the tracks,
off the tracks,
off the rail, on the tracks.
Off the rails,
off the rails.
I'm just drinking Belgian beers. But yeah, so far that's my UK tour dates.
Yeah.
I don't know what counts as a tour. Because I did an album release where I did Tynemouth and Birmingham. I don't think that counts as a tour. So it's just 2 dates, but it's 2 separate cities. So I don't know if next year is technically my first tour.
I guess so. I mean, the amount of gigs you've got, I've seen tours with less.
Yeah.
The class them as tours. So yeah, that is a good question. So what would you class as a tour? What would you personally?
Because if I've got Newcastle, I've got Whitley Bay, Sunderland, York, and Birmingham. If you take Whitley out of that, that's at least 4 different cities.
Yeah.
It's got to count.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Newcastle and Birmingham count as a tour. So I don't know if I've been on tour before or not.
Shall I Google it? I'm sure because Google has the answer to everything.
Apparently.
So what is a tour? What counts as a tour? What counts as a tour? A concert tour, or simply tour, is a series of concerts by an artist or group of artists in different cities, countries, or locations. So in theory, yeah, it's different cities. It's a tour. I mean, it's a pretty shit tour, but it's a tour.
So 2023, I'm on my biggest tour to date. Is that what I'm saying?
Tour to date. You've already been on tour
That's
once.
the announcement.
Yeah.
My second tour, we're going bigger and better. Yeah. Damien Rice.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, that's gonna be.
I'm so excited.
I think it'd be cool if we could find like a local Manchester musician, even if just meeting like. I don't know what kind of we'd have to like try and scope a pub that might be a little bit quieter and just kind of like
it's gonna be a Wednesday by the time we get down there.
If
we leave on a Wednesday morning, I don't imagine there being much commotion.
Yeah, and that's a good point actually. I think the Damien Rice, I think Kat googled it, and where it is, it's not like it's quite where he's playing isn't like right dead in the city centre either, so you could probably find a decent pub.
It's gonna be. I'm gutted Scott's not going with her.
I know. What's the thing like?
Scott's the one that got me into Damien Rice, and I feel a bit incomplete that he's not joining with. But
yeah,
he's off to see Spruce Springsteen, and he.
You know what? It's mad, right? How he played at the Stadium of Light, and I was offered a free ticket to go see Bruce Springsteen, and I turned it down.
Nice.
Because I had a buskers night. I was hosting. I was like the host.
But still.
Yeah. That was just like, yeah.
I think the real reason Scott's turned it down, and correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, because I'm assuming you watch all the podcasts.
Yeah.
Is to date, Damien Rice has been to more of Scott Kears's gigs than Scott has been at Damien Rice's gigs.
Oh yeah, because I
think that's right. If not, they're on par and it's changed. But I'm sure Damien Rice has been to more of his gigs.
Because I
just don't think he wants the ratios to tilt in Damien Rice.
I think he still wants to say, well. I've never seen Damien, but he's watched me a few times and he's enjoyed me quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a bragging right. I'll give you that. Yeah, podcast 2023. So
I think we should ask the audience, what would you like to see more of? What do you really not like? Don't say us two, because that's non-negotiable.
Can't change, sorry. You just
can't change ourselves. But yeah, in terms of kind of like themes and stuff, what would you like? Would you like more or longer episodes, shorter episodes?
Do you want us to bring back the Shag, Marry, Avoids? Do you want us to completely get rid of them?
Yeah.
Would you rather's? Did you like them change into musical events? Scenarios? Were they a good idea? What else have we done? We keep the what you're drinking. I think that's a fair.
Ironically, the first. I know it's the reason it's the most popular is because it's probably the first with Scott. Was the fantasy lineup.
Oh, here's my question for you. That's a good point. We've just done Spotify Wrapped Up.
Yeah.
Right. If you had to build a festival,
yeah.
All right, and you get one headline. You get 3 main acts, but not the headline, and you get 5 open/support acts. Who do you have in your festival?
It's a tough one, and the reason it's a tough one is because, these like living.
It's whatever.
Oh, it's okay. Because
you could have Mozart for all I care. What a headline.
Yeah.
Mozart, if you're listening, podcast 2023.
Get you on Bill and Ted style.
Hi, we'll bring you keyboard.
I don't know. Because what kind of festival would I want? Because I wouldn't just want like a mashup of loads. I'd want
you've got to think genre, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I guess Glastonbury do alright, don't they? Headline. You tell you what, headlining. This is out the park.
Okay.
Headlining. I'd absolutely have Rammstein.
Right.
Right. You ever see? I swear to God, right? There's a I'm sure they did I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere in Europe. They did a gig, and the Richter scale, you know, which is it kind of notifies when an earthquake's imminent. That started going like that, like to the drums. They're so loud. But they're supposed to be like mint live. Like they're supposed to be just like an unbelievable show.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely have them headlining. Before then, I'd have like a softer act, just to. I know you wouldn't.
Slipknot or something, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
like,
and soft.
yeah. Who else would I have? I tell you, I'd have Bowling for Soup,
Okay.
because I think they're just mint live, and they're nice guys as well. And I think they've got really good like pato and stuff. I'd have them on like before, just to kind of get the crowd going. Who else would I have? I'd probably have. I'd start it like the act that comes on. Excuse me.
Your first 5, it doesn't matter what order they're in,
Yeah.
to be fair. It's just kind of like, you know how Spotify did the thing where
Yeah.
big name, medium name, smaller names. They don't have to be small acts, but they have to be like, you build up to the crowd.
I'd absolutely have Josh Schwitter on there as well. I know this is like different genres and stuff like that, but I'm basically just talking about the acts that I've seen live and I've really liked.
Yeah.
After that, so Rammstein first. It's the headline. So it'd be Rammstein, Bowling for Soup. Funny enough, I wouldn't have Blink.
No. Would there not be like a name? Because like, I'm putting Ed Sheeran in my festival, but he's not headlining for us.
Yeah. I guess I could have them. You know what? I don't know if I prefer Alkaline Trio these days. Ooh, it's a tough one. I hate making decisions like this. This is why I don't run a festival.
This is why I don't book for Glastonbury. I turn them down every year.
I'd have Bob Marley as well, but assuming that let's say Ziggy Marley then, because Ziggy Marley's kind of close to Bob Marley.
It's basically the same person.
Yeah, although Bob Marley had that like something different about him. He had like a specific stage presence, which is just like, so that's it. So I'd have Rammstein.
I feel
Josh.
bad you weren't in my thingy. Sorry, lad.
Well,
Technically, you were. Elizabethtown was.
To be fair, like I don't have any. I don't have any flipping songs. Funnily enough, I was in
I was in yours.
the bassist who was at Lawrence. I was in his. I was like, how the hell? The only reason I'm in his is because like I've asked him to play bass guitar.
He's just listened to it.
Yeah, he's listening. Even though ironically, all the songs on my Spotify, I never played a single one.
My 3 headlines were Conor Michael, Ed Sheeran, and Scott Kears. Well,
you know, if you cannot promote yourself, you can't promote.
Cracking gig. It might be my headline. I'll go backwards. That's better. Yeah. My openers would be Passenger would be in there.
Oh yeah.
I like a bit of Passenger. Lewis Capaldi be a good shout to chuck in.
He'd be a good one. Yeah, he'd be a good actor.
I like Scouting for Girls. I've not heard much of the new stuff, but like the traditional, like she's so lovely.
Yeah.
She's so... they'd be in there. I've got a guilty pleasure to listening to Maisie Peters.
Yeah, you go on about her.
That was I think I came up in the humour episode and like which one is your guilty pleasure to listen to?
Yeah,
she's up there. Some of her songs I'm not 100% on, but some I'm like that's very well written. I need one more support. Who did I have in mind? There's a guy called Ryan McMullen. Bit of an Irish guy, and the first time I ever saw Ed Sheeran live, he did Metro Radio Arena at the time, and he was the first support act. And he was like, so basically how I got the gig, I was just my friend invited us to a house party one day, and Ed Sheeran was at the house party, and I was like, oh wow, it's Ed Sheeran, and my friend was like, Ryan plays guitar, and Ed's like, alright, play me one of your tunes. And I played him a couple of songs. He went, "How do you fancy coming on tour with us?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, Ed."
So imagine that. I mean, that's like winning the lottery, innit? Really? Like, lucky bastard.
But he was good live, so I put him in there. My main acts would be, I think, The Script. I've seen them live; they're really good.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran would be a main act.
Yes, of course.
You know, it's my festival. Fuck it, I'm putting Ollie Murs in there as well.
Yeah,
as a crowd entertainer.
Yeah.
In my headline act, I'll give you 3 guesses. You probably won't even get it. This is a band I really want to go see live, but I never have yet.
Are they still going now?
Yeah. Every time I look for tour dates, they're in Italy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's no, is it that? Motley Crue?
No.
No.
John Corabi, we're still trying.
Yeah,
Get yourself on the pod.
That's why I mentioned it. Ooh.
Get yourself on the pod and I'll put you top of that festival list.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm not good at guessing, as you can know.
I got it.
Sing down.
My headline would be Imagine Dragons. They'd be a cracking headline.
They'd be a
gig.
good, yeah. They're a strange band. They're kind of like, every single song sounds completely different from the last one. So.
Yeah. I think they're one of the few bands that use multiple drummers. I think Elbow do that as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. Or they bring a drum out for an extra song, but...
Yeah, Elbow, I mean, Elbow are a good band. Oh, maybe we'll try and find them, because they're from Manchester. We'll get them on the podcast, ask them nicely.
Yeah. One day like this, they'll be on the podcast.
Yeah, one day, Just ask them nicely.
I went to see Elbow when the lockdown ended. It was the first gig I had to go to where you had to prove you didn't have COVID. It's good too.
I don't think I've ever actually been to a gig where I've had to prove. Like, I don't think I went to any gigs like during that time. To be fair, I've never actually been tested positive for COVID. I've never actually
tested positive once. It killed me off for like 11 days. It just got worse and worse and worse.
Maybe knowing that you've got it is like...
I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think the first day I had it, I did get through 2 gigs and got man of the match at football though.
Oh, that's alright.
You know, and then after that, it went downhill.
Yeah.
I was ringing York because I was meant to be in York. I was like, I can't make the gig. I've just been tested positive for COVID. He was like, alright, yeah, fair enough. Don't travel. I was like, I won't.
Yeah, don't you worry about that, son.
I'm legally not allowed.
I'm in bed.
Yeah. Pandemic days, eh?
Yeah, the good old days.
It's 2023.
Yeah.
That's like 2 years ago now.
Yeah, it is.
3 years ago it started.
It's mad, isn't it?
And we've come out with a podcast.
Yeah, I think we've came out. It's went like that's for me. Like that's where being, and that's where the so going down 2021. Then it's just like going up now. Like that's how I feel at the moment.
Just like energy bills.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Life is like electricity.
It
goes up in 2023.
It is weird though. It's like it is like new. I usually hate kind of like New Year's resolutions, but I always try to make them because it's good. It's a good shut off period, isn't it? It's like a reset. You think well, you can kind of like gather your thoughts and think, well, what have I done this year? What can I do now?
Yeah.
Onward and upward. I think. Yeah, I think we should just keep thinking of new things. The problem is, right? That's not really a problem, but I always overthink things. So I think, how do we grow this podcast? We need to do these new things. And sometimes maybe all we need to do is just do what we're doing, but just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more...
I wanted to rebrand the logo. I think the logo's all right. I just didn't like the wood behind it.
Yeah.
Kind of changed that a little bit now. Yeah, like the gig guide, it even just slight adjustments. Like we'll still do a gig guide.
Yeah.
I might just do, if people want to let me know what gigs you've got, and we'll advertise them gigs on that week. But song of the week, I think I'm going to move to Friday.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the gig guide is going to come in on the Monday.
Yeah, that's a good.
That'll work a bit better.
That works out.
And then we'll still do a little guessy challenge on Wednesdays and stuff like that. Put little quotes from the episode in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll chuck that one I did before. It's something like 2023 goes like energy prices.
Yeah.
You know,
easy.
Something like that. Like we'll just do little quotes and obviously clippets and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do more. I'm thinking of putting some of the clips on YouTube as well, because we're going quite big. Because I used to watch a load of like the like Joe Rogan clips, and I've used to watch Joe Rogan podcasts. But whenever there was like a 3-minute interesting thing someone said, like it was always just like, oh, I'll click that. It's only 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think I might start doing, because I put them on. Well, I try it anyway. Fridays or Saturdays, or Fridays and Saturdays sometimes. Depends how much time I've got. But I only ever put them on Instagram or Facebook. But I think I'll start putting them on YouTube, and I'll start putting, like, you know, because that's what you got to do on YouTube. You got to have like the standout thumbnails. You know, get. Yeah. You know, they'll go, oh my god, look at the clickbait titles. You wouldn't believe what this person just said.
Yeah. I just literally got a message now. I saw you post about original musicians getting on the podcast for tonight, but I was wondering if I could possibly, I'm presuming that says get on another day.
Yeah, future episodes.
And releasing new music every 6 weeks from the end of January.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Big shout out to Jamie Farrell.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get you on the pod soon. If you're watching the episode, we want to get people on who listen to us. So this is the test.
So reply.
Send us passcode 662, and if you say that, you're on.
What is the passcode from the episode?
What's the passcode from the episode that's not out for 3 more weeks? I don't know. Well, you tell us. Yeah. We're going to look to start going to gigs as well. Not just like your Onimers and stuff, but we'll go to like local bands. We'll see what's on Little Buildings. Little Buildings is one of the best advertised venues in the northeast that I've noticed.
Yeah, that's good.
Doing the gig guide. When I do Clooney, they advertise it, but I can't find anybody on that.
Yeah, it actually plays there.
Nah, basically when I do the gig guide, I have my phone to put it on Instagram, and I have Ashley's phone so that I can be like, I don't know, such and such band, right? Can you type that in on Instagram, and we'll search it, and then you get 1,000 options, right? Can you type that and add music at the end, and it narrows down to 50 options. Go, right, can you search them 50? Anybody got a gig advertised? No. Right, okay. Can you take music off and put official on the end? Right, 50 options, right? Any of them got a gig? No. Okay, let's dive into, let's go into the Clooney. You go like really deep to find out the first one you selected is the right band. No advertisement.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
But you'd think if you're not on, even if you're not on Instagram, if you've got on Instagram, if you don't post that often, just post your gig.
Musicians need to advertise. This is it's advertise.
Yeah.
People unfollow you because they're like, oh, can't be asked to listen to that. Then they're not going to your gig anyway. So do it anyway. Lose the fans that aren't actually your fans and keep the ones that are. It's
that's actually a really good quote.
I haven't announced my thank you. I haven't even announced my tour yet, and I've already sold like 15 tickets on it.
Yeah.
People are just like, all right, I'll go, and they know where to find the tickets, and they're selling, but they're not actually released.
Yeah, that's the shows you done it.
Yeah, just advertise. Yeah.
Well, I think on that note,
I think we're sorted.
Yeah, I think that's a pod. It's about an hour long.
Perfect
timing as well.
Enjoy 2023. New Year's resolutions, James.
Well, you know me.
I don't.
Well, you know, I'm very. You know me.
I love that.
I'm very laconic.
Very kowtow.
Yes, I'm very kowtow, as you know.
Kowtow.
Well, New Year's
that's a big word. That's 6 letters.
I know,
that's one more than James.
Yeah, that's too many. So I'll just listening to people, to be honest, because I'm getting better at social media. Gig more, release music that people like and enjoy, and just do what I like to do. Be myself. Like that. What's yours?
I've got a song called "With." You're gonna love if you want that. You know? Well, mine was gigging a minimum of the month, once a month originally. That's slowly becoming more than once a month, which is good.
Of course.
I think it's quality now. It's like, I don't want to just release an EP. Obviously, what we're doing here, we're in Berry Island, which is James's little home and studio, and I'm making a couple of demos for next year's projects. I am going to be releasing an EP some point next year. It's going to be 4 songs on it. 1 is already complete at Blast Studios. 2 demos are being made here, and I think the one I was saying I'll come back and do another song, I'm not going to do that one.
Right, okay.
But I replayed a gig. I replayed a song at Blues and Bourbon a couple of weeks ago, and a song that I had recorded at Rich's studio went down really well. So I'm like, put that one in there,
Yeah.
and then obviously these two that we've got here.
Yeah.
And it's about going to like make it. Promotion's probably my thing.
Yeah.
Home was very rushed. As much as I really hammered it, it was still I had like 4 weeks to do it. And a lot of people might think, well, 4 weeks is a long time. It's an entire month, and nah. Like Ed Sheeran releases a song, and if he's got 9 weeks or less to promote it, he says it's a waste of time. Like that is a short time to promote a song.
Yeah, that is.
Like I need to get in. You need to. Preparation takes a lot longer. So quality tracks, promotion, good releases, and yeah, I'm gonna try and get Damien Rice on a podcast. That's my resolution.
Yeah.
Going on, boy.
Our resolution for Off the Stage podcasts is just keep doing it. Really, keep promoting. Keep.
So next year, I want to say we're still doing an episode.
Yeah. Keep it interesting, and yeah. I reckon we're gonna run out of guests, so we'll have to invite guests on. We should invite the ones that we had originally to come back on, because it's changed so much since when
We had Scotland twice.
Yeah, we've had
He's
Scotland.
back soon as well.
We'll probably have him. He'd be like the most popular.
I know.
But
Every time someone's got like Twister, we're quite tight with Stevie. They've released a new single, Favourite Underdog, that when this episode comes out probably would have came out last month, but to us it came out last week. I think for a podcast, it's the resolution for me is trying to build the Northeast music scene.
yeah,
And it's not to say we're against all the other regions, you know. We're absolutely, if we're in the area or you're in the area, let us know. We'll advertise the shit out of yourself, your gigs, your songs. But I've grown to know more people from doing this podcast.
absolutely,
More than I thought existed. Because I don't just book the acts and James books the acts. I'm like, I've never heard of them. And then they recommend people and they all come in.
yeah,
And when we started this, for a local music podcast with like no celebrity connections, you're probably expecting to be about 3-4 listeners a week.
yeah,
We're 6 months in and we've hit 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
We're on 70 people on Spotify, and we average 100 views on YouTube alone.
yeah. So it's big. I mean, that's,
We're probably looking at about 150 listens if you add Spotify and YouTube all together.
Yeah.
A week.
so it's
If we can grow that, it just means any musicians we bring on the podcast, they also grow. And it's not a case of you have to move to London to be big and famous. Like,
Yeah,
no,
that's
you
what
can
we
do
want.
it in your home time.
yeah. We're
Hometown.
that's what kind of we want to do with the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if we all grow, if we all help each other, that's the basic thing. If we all promote each other,
Photosynthesis.
Yeah.
It's in your big word book.
it is. Yes.
Better be.
Let's have a look. Photosynthesis.
Well, James is checking that out. We might be looking to put on some off the stage events throughout the year. Are we doing a song at the end of this episode?
No.
So the one episode you're not going to get a song off us, but
Photosynthesis is not in the book of big
plus
words.
it is. All right.
Phobia made it. Phobia's not a big word. Hey, well, I've got me money back. Andy Hughes. Photosynthesis. You forgot about photosynthesis.
Is anti-establishmentarianism in?
Anti-establishment.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Anti-establishmentarianism.
Yeah, sorry, you're not going to get a song off us on this episode, but if you go check out myself, Conor Michael, I am on Spotify, check out all the songs there. I want to say you're still under Torn Apart by Lisa.
No.
Has it all changed to
by
James
the
Berry now?
time it's well, yeah, but no, it's not. But it will be by the time this comes out.
You can search for James Berry on Spotify. And
It's not
all
even
the
going to be
James
that.
stuff
Actually,
should
it's
there.
going to be James Berry and the best ever folk rock band out of Fulham.
Ooh, really? I thought you would have like re-record everything with a band.
Well,
Though to be fair, it's quite a bandy.
I am
sound.
going to. I was in two minds whether to call the Spotify just
James.
the best ever folk rock band out of Fulham, but I think James Berry and the best ever folk rock band, because it's just easier to bloody advertise.
It's easier to see.
Yeah, it's exactly. Everybody knows who I am. That's why I'm doing the podcast. Nobody knows the best ever. Well, people do know the best ever folk band. I can't even say it myself. You know, it's so big. But yeah, James Berry and the best ever folk rock band out of Fulham will be on Spotify.
Yes, so check us out on Spotify. Thank you very much for listening throughout 2022. It's been pretty fun, to be fair. This
Yeah.
started out us dressed up as Freddie Mercury in Leeds, and
Yeah.
here we are in a homemade studio.
Yeah, I hadn't even bought the house when we realised.
In a house that you weren't even in, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good crack. Yeah, we've achieved a lot.
Yeah, I think we have. I think we've done okay.
It's been a good start of the year, and we'll get bigger and better next year.
Yeah.
Come see us live whenever you can. I advertise my gigs on social media. James
Tries.
waits for me to advertise his gigs on social media. He's playing at the Bunker on the 1st of April. And he's also playing, I don't know where, on the 26th of February, but it's going to be a gig.
Yeah. It's definitely a gig.
And we'll see you in the next year.
Yeah. See you later. Have a good one.
Ta-da.
See ya. That one.
Damn, I don't have a headset.
Well, that was alright.